Hi, and welcome to episode 9 of my series about the Pyara region, a fakemon region inspired by Pakistan. We started exploring Pyara's mangroves in the last episode, so let's keep trekking through the forest in this one. Starting things off, here's the grass ghost Moritropa, based on the Monotropa uniflora, also known as the ghost plant or Indian pipe. This plant lacks chlorophyll, hence its ghostly white coloration, and instead gets its nutrients from hacking the mutualistic symbiotic nutrient transfer between mushrooms and trees, like the world's worst third wheel. Much like its real-life inspiration, Moritropa preys on mushroom Pokémon like Paras, Morlul, and Denki Noko. Next up, we have a convergent Pokémon based on one of my all-time favourite Pokémon, Mimikyu. Since Mimikyu dresses up as Pikachu to try and endear people to it, I thought it'd be fun to have a convergent one that looks like Mimikyu but uses Mimikyu to scare others rather than to make itself look less scary. So here we have Tentakyu, a dark-type Pokémon inspired by the mimic octopus. As the name suggests, the mimic octopus is a master of disguise, able to change colour and shape to impersonate all sorts of different marine animals to deter predators and catch prey unawares. The mimic octopus may even be smart enough to change its mimicry based on the situation it finds itself in, and similarly, Tentakyu changes forms depending on the foe it's up against. Out of battle, or against a Pokemon with even defenses, it'll look like normal, but if it's facing down a Pokemon with a lower special defense stat, it'll disguise itself as a Gengar, and if it's fighting a Pokemon with a lower defense stat, it'll disguise itself as an Arbok. Its stats also change to match, with Gengar form having higher special attack, and Arbok form having higher attack. Fun fact, as a less dangerous creature mimicking more dangerous ones, the type of mimicry that Tentakyu uses is called Batesian mimicry. Next up, I want to give some extra love to one of Pokemon's all-time weirdos, Tropius. Much like Volbeat and Illumise, I wanted to expand Tropius' family out by giving it a baby and an evolution. So here's the baby, the grass-type Tropup. It's just a little nana, or at least it disguises itself as one as it nestles in its mother's banana beard. Now for the evolution. I've seen a bunch of Tropius evolutions where it gets a lot bigger but loses its ability to fly, and that's certainly an approach that works well and makes sense, but I thought it would be a shame for Tropius to lose one of its 3 characteristics when it evolves. To solve this, I just took those traits and ramped them up to 11. More dinosaur, more banana tree, and more flying. So here's the grass-flying Tropicopter, with Tropius upgrading from a banana tree to a whole banana forest. Fun fact, did you know that what we call banana trees aren't actually trees at all? Since they lack the woody stems that define trees, instead having pseudostems made of layered leaf stalks, they're technically a type of herb. Next up, here's a set of regional variants. It's Pyara Finizen and Palafin. These two are based on the Indus river dolphin, the national aquatic mammal of Pakistan. Owing to their unique environmental demands, Indus river dolphins are a little creepy looking, which I of course mean as a compliment of the highest order. So I leaned into that with the Pyara Finizen line, making them water-dark villains as a counterpart to regular Palafin's heroic vibes. Wrapping things up for this episode, let's keep the aquatic times a-rollin' and try hooking something with a fishing rod. Looks like we got a Magikarp. Hold on, this looks exactly like a regular Magikarp. What gives? Isn't this supposed to be a fakemon channel? Well, much like Owen Tempo Rockruff and Battle Bond Greninja, this Magikarp is a visually identical alternate form with a different ability, Anticipation, that lives in the waters of Pyara's mangroves. The big difference between the two, besides the ability, is that this Magikarp doesn't evolve into Gyarados once it hits level 20, which causes trainers and fishers alike to throw them back in search of bigger and more impressive catches. But if you give this small fry a chance, and pour your love and attention into it, it eventually evolves into Magikarat, based on a golden mahseer. The mahseer is a national fish of Pakistan, a symbol of good luck, and one of the 8 auspicious signs in Buddhism. A very culturally important animal, and with the water steel typing and solid defensive stats, a very useful Pokemon too. But to balance it out, the level you'd need to get Magikarp to would be really high, and you need to max out its friendship and probably meet some other goofy criteria I haven't come up with yet. That's all for this episode. The question for this episode is a bit of a big one, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while. So, we all know what the deal is with regional variants, but how would you feel if regional variants appeared in regions they didn't debut in? Like if you saw Galarian Zigzagoon in regions that weren't Galar. In universe they're supposed to be the original Zigzagoon, so from a Watsonian perspective it makes sense for them to be like that in other regions. But what about from a Doylist perspective? Would you be happy to see a regional form in another locale, Or do you think it dilute the concept too much? Let me know if you'd add any of the Pokemon featured in this video to your Pyara region team too. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.